Hey y'all. Hey. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm laying down. I'm sorry. I stayed up yesterday thinking I was gonna stay up until something go to work. I don't know why, but I was like, if I go to sleep now, I'm I'm not gonna wake up on time. So my crazy self stayed up till like 3:30. Fell asleep out of nowhere. Some way somehow. Well, ain't no some way somehow. God, he got me up at like 5:30. Perfect timing. No, that's okay. Hey. Why y'all up here? Y'all ain't helping. Yes, he is. Cool.
The thing about Slack's videos is that Slack videos are educational, but also speaking from like perspective. Right? Slack videos, narrative perspective. He did this. He went down the street. He found this. She went in the things. She started from the narrative perspective. The difference in the new part of my life and I'm enjoying as a result of her stories videos is it's spoken from first person perspective. My dog, my grandfather, he dropped a dumbbell on my ribs. It's like spoken from the perspective of the from a storytelling perspective. I'm making a passion. I think it's very interesting. My favorite creators, but there's a chance that I'm not going to say anything, I'm not going to spoil anything. There's a chance. There's a chance. This chance. Just look at that. I'm enjoying this a lot. It's very well put together videos. The scripting, the animation, storytelling, character colors, the character face. Like, why is the main guy? What the hell? What a random attributes have character. Maybe his story, the originator, is a ginger haired punk. I want to be a crazy Justin. It's wicked. Anyways, keep it on while he scoops pieces into his palms. It's not just a cockroach. That was Larry. He was my best friend for 3 years. I fed him crumbs from my sandwich every day. I named him after my grandfather. I raised my hands higher. Okay, I'll buy you a new one, I swear. His fist connected with my jaw before I could say I was sorry, and the lights went out. I came to on the floor with him, still on his knees, scraping Larry into a paper towel. He saw me move, and his crying stopped. I'm going to kill you for this. He grabbed the scissors off the counter and came out. Security tackled him before the scissors reached him. Two cops dragged him out by both arms while he kept his eyes locked on mine. I swear, Larry will be avenged. They sent him to a psych ward that afternoon. A week later, I still felt bad about it. So I drove to the psych ward with a cockroach in a paper cup. I figured a new Larry would square us up. They walked me to a visitation room with a metal grate down the middle, and my coworker sat on the other side looking thin. I slid the cup through the slot in the grate. His name is Larry. He stared at me for a long second before his face broke open, and he cupped the roach in both hands like it was made of glass and cried into it. The guard standing behind him called silent. Ah, a roach! My coworker's hands stomped on it. Crunch. My coworker made the exact same sound he made the day he killed Larry. He came off his chair and tackled the guard to the floor. I didn't move. I already started thinking about where to find another cockroach for next week's visit. The, what the monster is that? What did I just witness? Am I dreaming? What the fuck? What was that story? Oh my god. Okay, I think from this point onwards, I'm gonna start ranking these videos. Well, reviews. I should also start checking the views. I haven't checked the views. 9.1 million in 2 weeks, and this is only a 1.7 times outlier. Unbelievable. Cannonball! My friend Bobby jumped in the air towards the couch. His shadow fully engulfed him, and we scrambled away because this was life or death. Bobby landed on the couch, and we immediately heard a massive crack under him. His face fell, and when he stood up, his mom's bike helmet was completely flattened into 2D. I immediately dropped to the floor laughing. Bobby, how do you flatten a bike helmet? My friends rolled on the floor and stared. That thing survived. It couldn't survive Bobby. Bobby panicked and grabbed the flat helmet. Guys, this isn't funny. Please help me fix this before my mom walks in. Only looking to do exactly. Don't panic. Go buy your new helmet. Also, why are you guys sitting on the couch? Oh my god, there's so many questions. My brain is firing. My billions of neurotransmitters of my brain are multiplying by themselves, and my brain is just further expanding as a result of this complex video, this perplexing, unbelievable situation that has arisen. Why are three friends sitting on a couch, sitting next to a bike helmet? And why is the bike helmet sitting on the couch when the ginger kid with the two different color eyes is not sitting on the couch? What is this case scenario? Am I dreaming? Bro, it literally looks like a pancake. Jason pulled out his phone, taking pictures of him. Bobby was being red and tried squeezing the helmet back in shape, his chubby fingers shaking. Jason slapped his shoulder. Try sitting on it again. His chubby fingers shaking. Okay, Bobby, maybe we'll pop back out the other way. I began laughing again, and that's when Bobby's mom walked in carrying groceries. She saw the flat bike helmet in Bobby's hands and gasped, "Why is my helmet flat?" I laughed hard, but Bobby's eyes instantly went wide. He pointed at me. He sat on mom. My jaw dropped, but I didn't even need to reply as his mom looked at him and rolled her eyes. I know this was you, Bobby. He's not heavy enough to flatten a bike. Bobby's face dropped, and the three of us collapsed, laughing harder than before. This is the bullying Bobby video. Like, this is Bobby slapping the entire video needs laughing at it. All you have to do is go for a cannonball. But you should hit the gym potentially in his own cannonball, high slowly plus Am I the only one who noticed they were playing Red Dead Redemption 2? Yo, I never played Red Dead Redemption. I'll probably complete the entirety. Is it a long game? Is it something that I can make like a part series on this channel? I don't want to make a separate gaming channel. That sounds like a complete waste of time. If it's a game. Also, why are you guys sitting on the couch on my other side? Because this was like from this point onwards, I'm gonna start ranking these videos. Heading well, I'm confused. I should also start checking views. I didn't check any of the views. 9.1 million in 2 weeks, and this is only a 1.7 times outlier. Unbelievable. Cannonball! My friend Bobby jumped in the air towards the couch. His shadow fully engulfed me, and we scrambled away to this 2 weeks, and this is only a 1.7 times outlier. Unbelievable. Cannonball! My friend Bobby jumped in the air towards the couch. His shadow fully engulfed me. We scrambled away because this was life or death. Bobby landed on the couch, and we immediately heard a massive crack under him. His face fell, and when he stood up, his mom's spike helmet was completely flattened into 3D. I immediately dropped to the floor laughing. Bobby, how do you flatten a pike helmet? My friends rolled on the floor and stared. That thing survives trucks, but it couldn't survive Bobby. Bobby panicked and grabbed the flat helmet. Guys, this isn't funny. Please help me fix this before my mom walks in. What do you want them to do is like this? They want panicking. Go buy her a new helmet. Also, why are you guys sitting on the couch? There's so many questions. My brain is firing. My billions of neurotransmitters in my brain are multiplying by themselves. And my brain is rapidly expanding as a result of this complex video. This perplexing, unbelievable situation that has arisen. Why are 3 friends sitting on the couch? And why is the bike helmet sitting on the couch? 2 different color eyes. It's not sitting on the couch. What is this case scenario? In my dream, bro, it literally looks like a pancake. Jason pulled out his phone, taking pictures. Bobby was beet red and tried squeezing the helmet back in shape. His chubby fingers shaking. Jason slapped his shoulder. Try sitting on it again. His chubby fingers shaking. And Rocky, maybe it'll pop back out the other way. I began laughing again, and that's when Bobby's mom walked in carrying groceries. She saw the flat bike helmet in Bobby's hands and gasped, "Why is my helmet flat?" I laughed hard, but Bobby's eyes instantly went wide, and he pointed at me. "He sat on it, Mom." My jaw dropped, but I didn't even need to reply because his mom looked at him and rolled her eyes. "I know this was you, Bobby. He's not heavy enough to flatten a bike." Bobby's face drooped. The 3 of us collapsed, laughing harder than before. This is the bullying Bobby made. Like, this is Bobby slander. The entire video he's laughing and all you have to do is don't bring any. But you should hit the gym. That's what you need. Even his own Cannonball, isolated press. Am I the only one who noticed they were playing Red Dead Redemption 2? Yo, I never played Red Dead Redemption. Off topic completely an entirety. Is it a long game? Is it something that I can make like a quick series on this channel? I don't want to make a separate gaming channel. That sounds like a complete waste of time. If it's a game that I can make a playthrough for, I would do it. So let me know if you'd like me to do that. I don't know how long it is. I wouldn't want to make like a 10-part series, but I mean, so far so good. I'm gonna give a lot of Cannonball. I'll give that a beats here. They didn't bully this kid for doing. Bully this kid for 2 minutes straight. He was well laughing at it. I wish he never went fishing. Every winter, my dad used to take me ice fishing on the summer. His dad's a stranger too. What a surprise! Waste his time. Say, don't ever drill your hole near the middle sun. That's how you fall in. I smiled and did like he said. Only ever noted. I don't know when we're going to be in a situation where I'm never going to have to do that, but noted. I appreciate the knowledge. Fishing near the end. But then one summer, Dad simply vanished. I cried for months, and as the years went on, accepting I'd never see him again. But then 20 years later, my 8-year-old son wanted to go fishing. I looked at my dad's old rod I never threw out and picked it up for the first time in 2 decades. I took my son to the same frozen lake and sat at the edge smiling because my best childhood memories were flooding back to me. I told my son, "Your granddad taught me to always drill at the edge, never the middle." I drilled into the ice, showing him how it's done, just like my dad showed me. But the second I looked away, my son took off running towards the middle of the ice hopper. You do this. Why don't you do that? Why don't you go and not listen to him? He's clearly obviously trying to help you out, And now you're running into drill into the middle of the ice hole. It's just a video. It's not real. It's just a video. Humans, man. In the middle, my face dropped in panic as I heard my dad's words. Don't drill near the middle. That's how you fall in. I stood up to run to my son because I couldn't believe someone else. But that's when he suddenly stopped and pointed at the ice near the middle. Dad, I see something under the ice. My stomach sank, and when I went over, I saw the shape of a car underneath the ice. An arm was dangling through the open window, and this terrible gut feeling washed over me. I immediately called police with shaking hands, all while my son kept asking what it was. The police towed the car up onto the ice, and I saw the body inside. I couldn't make out who, but I was sweating and my legs were shaking. But my son just looked around with this curious, excited face because your son had told him that. Is this kid Dexter? I mean, he's fitting the profile of Dexter. Ginger, psychotic, that's about it. If you told him anything. That's when the cop walked over with a grim expression. The body belongs to your dad's old co-worker. He went missing the same week your dad disappeared. My legs buckled, and I asked what this meant. The cop looked down and pulled out a sealed bag with a knife. We found a murder weapon in the car. Your dad's fingerprints were on it. I'm so sorry, but your dad killed this man. Hold on a second. How does that make any sense? You're on the ice. You just got the call to arrive at the scene. Forensics already managed to scrape fingerprints. I'm not saying any forensics. I'm just saying this whole photo over here. What if this old fellow is the ginger kid's dad? What if that's the plot twist here? It's most likely why he disappeared. I looked at the cop, then at my son's smile vanishing as it hit me. His granddad was in the room. My legs gave out, and I dropped to the ice. I finally understood why my dad told me to never drill near the middle. Okay. On second thoughts, I'm not going to make note of never drilling near the middle because it was just, interesting. So now, where's the dad then? And also, how did forensics? Okay, I'm going to give that one an A tier. I was engaged. This next one, his story says it is a 3-part series, part 1, part 2, part 3. All right, let's see. Hands up kid with a boxing. Oh, look at these monstrous shoulders and these monstrous eyebrows. This guy means this. My police fifth caught me right in the. Sorry, guys. Hold on. What's in character basically? Look at this dork with a mohawk in 2026. It's caught me right in the jaw. And I hit the floor. From across the alley, a shaky voice called out, "Kid, you're dropping your hands when you flinch." Oh, it's the sensei. Walked off laughing with his friends. I pushed myself up and saw an old man sitting on a milk crate at the back of the alley. When someone was it's picking. They go all farming into this thing. Right before we look in. Quick one, you can buy these quarters on the website. I made it. Anyway, at the back of the alley. When someone throws a punch, you gotta keep your hands up and be ready to swing back. Nobody had ever talked about Brett like he was something I could fix. I walked over to him. He's been beating on me since 7th grade. He's too strong. I don't think it's ever gonna stop. The old man nodded once. I can make it stop. Come back tomorrow. Next to him was a shopping cart and a faded boxing belt was sticking out the top. This guy was the real deal. Summer had just started. And I had nothing to lose, so I showed him the next morning at 6. He had me throw my first punch and grabbed my wrist before it landed. Hands up, you dropped them, you died. After that, I came back every single day. He'd made punching bags out of garbage bags filled with sand and tied them to the chain link fence. He had me run laps around the empty lot until I was up in the bushes, and sent me back out for throwing punches back at me. And I learned to duck and dodge. I'm
Thank you.
watching the YouTube